The clock ticking on TikTok with the U.S. ban set to take effect on Sunday. So now American users are flocking to a different Chinese social media platform, making it the most downloaded app in the U.S. It's called Red Note.
Hello, TikTok refugees from the US. Welcome to Red Note. 小红书.
Hi, TikTok refugee. When I opened this app in the morning, I was completely shocked. I was thinking, am I getting to the right app?
Now we've got TikTok refugees like you guys flooding 小红书. Is it just me, or this app feels like a new world?
Is Elizabeth Schulze a TikTok refugee? I don't know. Let's ask her. And let's also ask you why TikTok users are choosing to move to this app in particular.
Okay, so admittedly for this story, Kira, I did download Red Note. I just checked. It's still the #1 download on Apple's App Store. Really notably about this app, Kira, this was launched in 2013. It is also a Chinese-owned app. So when you actually go to download it in the App Store, the name is still in Mandarin, and when you try to click on the terms and conditions, all of the language there, it's still written in Mandarin. So what we're seeing here is, yes, users are trying to find an alternative in case TikTok doesn't start to work as soon as Sunday, but they're also doing this as a little bit of an act of defiance, saying, look, we know that TikTok is owned by a Chinese parent company, and we don't care. In fact, we're going to flock to an alternative that is also owned by a Chinese company. And the other #2 download that we're seeing in the App Store, Kira, is called Lemon 8. This is a little bit more like Pinterest. It's more focused on still photos than videos. But when you go on TikTok, this is actually a sister app of TikTok's. It's also owned by ByteDance. That's also gaining some traction right now. Again, has that Chinese owner.
Well, okay, then as you just said, Red Note is also a Chinese app. So are there any concerns that it could also eventually be banned?
Absolutely. I mean, remember, the whole point of the TikTok law, the federal law that was passed with bipartisan support through Congress, signed into law by President Biden, upheld by the courts, has been to try to get TikTok to divest of that Chinese ownership. So actually, Lemon 8, which is also owned by the same owner as TikTok, ByteDance, it could be subject to this same ban. Red Note could face that kind of a fate down the line, that we haven't heard any rumblings about that quite yet. So that's the reality here, is that the Chinese ownership is what has concerned officials when they're talking about the possibility of the Chinese government influencing Americans' opinions online, providing disinformation, potentially manipulating them, and also tracking their data for now. You know, that's a national security concern we've heard for years now from several administrations. One thing that's notable, Kira, is that there hasn't been as much rumblings about some of the U.S.-based alternatives here. So YouTube Shorts, Instagram Reels, maybe even Snapchat. We're not seeing this kind of same flood of action toward those platforms, but maybe that's something we will see over time if TikTok really does go away. U.S. users would end up going and spending more of their time there, and advertisers might also end up spending more of their dollars there, too.
Bottom line, there's always going to be another app.
Yes, no question.
Thank you, Elizabeth.